Hey everybody, it's the first, it's 10 o'clock. I just went back and watched the video about Liz's exorcism. And it's amazing how much more I understand since then. And just how much, what everything really meant that I didn't know. I had the dream about seeing the baby with the light of Jesus behind him in January or December. He gave me enough time. Like he built me up over a couple months so I could handle it. I also forgot just how special my son truly was. In the first part I talk about the baby pointing at, I used to have a picture of the Last Supper and he said, Jesus? Boo-boos? How many times I saw angels around him. And my son and I had this bond. Like not a normal father-son bond. Like he understood and I understood that he understood. He was the most perfect little thing. I was given understanding today that I am right, that somebody that I thought was my friend isn't. I'm 50-50 that Liz and Elijah were there yesterday and they lied to me about it. It was impressed upon me that they were lying. Which, whatever. Because they were starting to believe me, they had to have her go over there and say, look, he's crazy, the kid's right here. Because then everything I tell them is unbelieved. And I tested a theory. I said what I said in the video yesterday about binding somebody, and it clearly made somebody very uncomfortable. It made something very uncomfortable. I was given a little more understanding too of a way to put this. We know that we're in Revelations. We base everything that we believe on what is about to happen on that book. And I'm not comparing myself to St. John Divine, so please. If St. John the Divine, his faith was any less and he saw that stuff, do you think he would have believed enough to write it down? This is why everything has happened to me my whole life, because I needed to know for a fact. St. John, if he wasn't told come up hither, he would have just thought it was a vision. But because he heard it directly from the mouth of God and saw heaven and the angels and all that stuff, he knew that this is of my Father. Write it down. I have to say this. I have to say it all the time from now on. But I got to correct it. Somebody corrected me, and thank you. Because I just say it. I don't even think when I say it. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for my sins, died, rose from the dead 3 days later, and ascended into heaven after Pentecost and sits at the right hand of the Father. The way I was saying it, he died in it, like I just said it like that. I know that he was here, he came and visited Thomas in the upper room and all that. That's one of the, when I read that, every time I read it, it makes me cry about them all in the upper room and the flames and everybody hearing them in their own language. And if you didn't see my video about Liz's exorcism, go watch it, but I do have to say something. I held back a lot out of fear. Fear that I would say something and have someone call on me. But all of my videos all put together points to the same thing. Liz is a victim. My son is not here anymore. And this is what our government is doing. She was so happy. It hurts that I didn't protect her. That day I was told they're in your house, that I didn't come home immediately. But they are already here. They could have got it done by the time I got home. I don't know how long they were here, what kind of ritual they did, what happened. I know that they got her back that day. And what she said fills in what I said. That she said, I feel so empty now because all that was in her were demons and they were put there. I miss her. I miss my son too, but I know where he is. Liz is still here, like I could still save her. I want to read you something. Liz wrote this to me on my birthday, April 4th, the 3rd, sorry. It's her. And I'm going to point some stuff out. I know you said not to celebrate your birthday, but I couldn't let such an important day pass without a word. On this day you were brought into the world, and without it, you would have never been. You would have never been the best father any could hope for. You wouldn't have been my best friend, companion, and love of my life. You wouldn't have been the first thing that puts a smile on my face as soon as I open my eyes, or the kiss that ends our snuggle session, which is the best part of my night. I love you so much, John, I truly do. I know I don't thank you enough for being the rock that keeps this family safe, keeps us together, and does so many little tedious tasks throughout the day just so I don't have to. Everything you do is noticed, appreciated, and makes me love and trust you more each day we are together. I am so blessed to have you as my husband to spend the rest of my life with. Thank you for all that you do to keep this family together. Besides being such a wonderful partner, you are the very best father I've ever seen in my entire life. The love that shines in your eyes when you see him is insurmountable, absolutely amazing. You do such a good job with him sometimes I actually get jealous and wish I could handle him with such ease. Thinking about the two of you wait all day for that precious time you get to spend together, and how happy you both are to be together, brings tears to my eyes. You are such a wonderful, caring, compassionate person. I thank God almost every day that I have you. Sometimes I forget, in parentheses. I wish there were more words in my vocabulary to explain to you how special you are and how preciously I hold you in my heart. You are my family, my love, my life, my everything. I love you to the moon. Today needs to be celebrated at least a little, just so you know how much we love you and how much you mean to us. Without you, I'd be lost. Half of a hole missing her heart. I never ever want to think about us not together. We are the luckiest people in the world. I love you with all my heart and soul, and Eli somehow manages to love you even more than that. Thank you for being the man we need you to be, never letting us down and working so hard to keep us all together, safe, and on the right track. You are truly loved more than you could ever possibly comprehend, a whole hell of a lot more than you deserve to be shown. That's not what she meant. Happy birthday, John. I pray we have so many more together. Sorry. That was from my Liz. Oh, love always, Elizabeth Welgus. That was from my wife that woke up on the couch after being dead because a principality had come out of her that was placed there in her as a child. I never understood why she cheated and why she'd go out and do the things she do, and why after the baby was born she got high, and I chalked it up to postpartum and the cheating and why she always ran to Nevin. Never did I understand the depth of her despair. And even after her exorcism, I still wasn't privy to what exactly was going on. Not until I started to get a little bit. He started showing me stuff that led me to. And then the stuff that happened gave me that conclusion. The noises, the people following us, all of it. I want to believe that there is a piece of humanity left inside of her. And that she will call one day and say, please come help me. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they have her so bad. Especially now that I told her the truth. And they know that God had already saved her once, so they're worried about it getting to her again. So they made sure this time that Liz will never remember the truth. that the truth to her is something so horrible. For her to know the truth, she would have to deal with everything that they've caused her to do, made her to do. Just the fact that she thanks me 2 or 3 times for keeping us safe. We have no other threats except demonic and her handlers and her family. After this, I told her, I instinctively knew she is to stay away from her family. But then I felt like, well, that's what an abuser would do. I should have made sure she didn't go back by her family. But it also helped her mother to wake up, but then her mother got yanked back too. So there's just a pattern of abuse, saving, and then yanked back. It's right there, the MKultra. And if she is under control of MKultra, there is a purpose behind it. And they control people all the same way. Make them do the most horrible things. Please pray that somehow she finds her way out of it. Pray that he takes mercy on her. Something happened once. I took her to meet one of my friends who was a mason, actually. His whole floor is checkerboard. I helped put the floor in. Never knew what it meant until now. When we walked in, he looked at her and she looked at him, and I knew. They know each other. But that's impossible. There was no way they could have ever met. He's a mason. These girls are made to prostitute themselves. They are taken to the Masonic temples and used. My heart, my spirit doesn't lie. When they looked at each other, Wayne looked at me and I knew, boom. But then I thought, no, I'm just being a jealous nut. There is no way he knows her. He knew her. Please pray for her. Pray that something opens her eyes. Pray that she's safe and that they just don't get rid of her. Instead of risking her, have her crawl her way out. They kill people all the time. They could kill a 2-year-old innocent child named Elijah. They'd have no problem getting rid of Liz. And I love her. In spite of everything, she is my wife. She is my soulmate. She was where I was home when I was with her. And she doesn't believe me. She can't allow herself to believe me because that means dealing with the truth. And they make the truth such an abhorrent thing. These people thrive on lies. I guess that's it. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow researching some of these songs and stuff, just so you could see how much he's really been giving me. I'd like to find time to watch all my videos, because man, there's probably stuff in there I totally forgot about, because he'd give me something and I just make a video and say it, and then forget about it. I had deja vu yesterday that something bad is about to happen, but it was personal. It's not on a large scale. I don't think so, but